Hello and welcome to this week's look at our quant indicators at Biyond. So before I begin, I'm just going to read through this disclaimer briefly. Please feel free to read along as well. Biyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions, plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendations or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments that carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so let's get straight to it and have a look at our platform. And I've got something a bit special this week to have a look at. So before I begin, just a general overview. As we know, things are pretty bearish out there at the moment. There's certainly no let up in Biyond Vanguard. We can see that obviously because of the Iran conflict and the strong pullback from the 70,000 or just below the 70,000 area this week, Vanguard has been pretty bearish, and we've had no buy signals as the market moved up at the early part of the week, and that was obviously a clue that things were pretty bad out there still, and it was likely going to be some type of fake move. Typically, we look at the 12-hour time frame to see if we're going to get any types of green buy signals come in. So that whole recovery this week was just dogged in blue, and we can see typically we don't tend to get continuation if we aren't moving into green and the price is moving significantly higher. So as things stand, it certainly looks like the downtrend is going to continue. In terms of Beyond Challenger, there is some interesting things happening on here. I think the most interesting thing for me is that in a couple of weeks, maybe in around 3 or 4 weeks' time, we are going to be getting a weekly buy signal if we continue to see Bitcoin moving lower. Do note that Challenger has got his own quirks, and that in order for a buy signal to be perfected, the price has to continue to go lower, and it has to be lower than a specific number of candles that was posted previously. But as things stand, and with what's going on in the world, I guess with Iran and potentially, a very weak finish into the month, it does look like there's a strong chance that we are going to get a perfected weekly buy signal. And I guess why is that so interesting? Because the weekly time frame tends to generate the stronger and the more longer lasting signals. So for example, recently, if we've had any daily or 12-hour signals that haven't really been lasting that long, I think we got a daily buy signal from the 60,000 area at the start of the month, and obviously it didn't go that far. But if we've got a weekly buy signal coming for Challenger, it does hint that we could have some continuation for at least maybe a couple of weeks where the push could potentially go into some interesting areas. But let's wait, I guess, until we go there, and then we'll take it from there. In terms of other indicators before I get to Biyond Atlas and the special announcement, I guess I will say that the long versus short ratio is worth watching. Traders at the start of the day did have a long bias in the market, and obviously that's going to be bad because the market's trending lower. So we'll be watching this next week to see how they break. If we look at the positioning data, which reflects what the smart money are doing, they're still not interested in this recovery, and they are selling. So as they are considered the smart money as opposed to global Binance accounts, which is retail, we also need to bear in mind what they're actually doing as well. Now, I bring you on to the special announcement, and we've upgraded Biyond Atlas. So it's now Biyond Atlas 2 for all intents and purposes, and it's got some different metrics that are making it up. There's been a lot of refinement and optimization in our key quant model, and it's now a much better and much more sophisticated model with a more reliable signal. And with that said, at the moment, we are getting, we're seeing that there's no relief in terms of moving into the red zone, which means that things are still very bearish. And from December the 17th was the first time the price broke inside the red zone. So that is obviously the key signal that the market isn't turning yet, and we want to be in a position where we want to wait for some levels that look interesting in terms of being particularly oversold to the downside. And we can see previously we've had readings of 106 and we've had readings of 111. So if we are going to get into cyclical areas where the market should start to turn, then we'll be watching at least for these kind of areas around 106 to 111. But yeah, it's certainly somewhat of a different indicator. Now it's been optimized, but we can say that the signals are a lot stronger. And when they start to generate and move into the green zone, as you can see, the buy signals tend to last a hell of a lot longer, and they're more accurate. And do note that the buy signal remains all the time the price is inside the green zone. So even if the price is moving higher, it just means that the momentum is weakening, but it's still a buy signal. And we can see this here. And obviously, when we are moving higher, and the price is kind of diverging, then we need to pay special attention. But overall, yeah, this week, that's a special announcement in that we've upgraded Biyond Atlas, and we look forward to seeing what it's going to bring. And that, of course, comes across multiple cryptocurrency pairs. And I can say that Ethereum is really giving out some strong signals for this particular model at the moment. So do bear that in mind. And in terms of what Biyond Atlas is doing, it's got a kind of self-awareness in that it's always refining itself and perfected. So that's something very interesting as well. So yeah, as we move into next week, things are certainly looking more bearish, and we should expect continuation. Personally, I'm looking for the low 50s as a potential turning point, and I'd love to see that kind of match up with the challenge of buy signal on the weekly time frame in a couple of weeks. And it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out going into the March-April period, to see if we can get some type of temporary bounce that we can latch onto. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it this week, and obviously check out Biyond Atlas. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again next week.